Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Thought for Thursday, which is a segment of Leveling Up the Podcast. It is the segment that we do on Thursdays where we focus in for just 15 minutes and we talk about some areas in which we can use some leveling up, some things that we can do, some areas that may be of particular importance to you. And for the past 3 or 4 weeks, we've really been focusing on how it is that we can maneuver difficult places. And this episode is no different. We're kind of continuing that theme. And you saw in the social media blast that I put out today, we're talking about the things that we need to do to navigate the storms, to navigate difficult times, to navigate the times when we can't quite see clearly and we need some support in helping us to focus in on where it is that we need to go. So, particularly today, I'm talking about the importance of following your compass when you're trying to navigate your way, the importance of following your compass during the storm. What better time to have some navigational support? What better time is there to really have some guidance that's going to help you when you can't be at your absolute best because perhaps you're focusing in on so many things? You really need something that's going to help you to get to where it is that you need to go. So, as you know, during our Thought for Thursday segments, we focus in on 3 to 5 things that you can do. We always give you 3 to 5 tips that are going to help you to maneuver whatever the topic is, whatever the dilemma is, whatever the trial is that you need to make it through. Perhaps not every time we're talking about storms. Again, we talk about things that involve finances, that involve career, that involve what it is that you need to do, perhaps to reinvent, to get to a better place. They're all topics that will definitely be able to add perspective, will definitely be able to give you some juice for the journey, is what I like to call it. So, getting back to tonight's topic, what is it that you need to do to follow your compass? What am I specifically talking about? Well, as I already said, there are times when we really get lost along the way, where we really have a difficult time trying to find exactly the navigation. Sometimes it's the path that we need to follow in order to make sure that we're getting to where we want to be. And if you know anything about storms, right? Sometimes you're in a storm, and depending upon what the storm is, it could be a windstorm where your car is just wavering to and fro. It could be a rainstorm where the rain is coming down so heavy on the windshield that you really don't have a good idea as to where you're going. It could be a snowstorm where you're not only concerned about snow accumulating on your windshield, well, snow accumulating under your tires and how it is that you maneuver that, right? Well, in the middle of all that, the last thing that you want to have to do is not know where you're going. So the importance of a compass becomes very clear to you. It can make the difference between you getting there safely and really not getting there at all. All right. So for us, storms hit in different ways. The storms that I'm talking about are storms that we're in when we're trying to juggle family, we're trying to juggle careers, we're trying to juggle health, we're trying to juggle perhaps even the weight of some unfulfilled dreams that can weigh so heavy on us that we can be so misguided and misdirected. We don't know which way to go. Yet, no matter how fierce the wind is, believe it or not, we all have a compass that is within us, a compass that can really help us. The challenge is learning to identify what that is, and more importantly, trusting that compass. How many of us have been told a way to maneuver something, or have been told a technique for developing something, a technique for approaching people, a technique for developing a product, and we don't follow through with it? We don't adhere to it because we're just not certain. There's some doubt in there. Well, there are some things, again, that we need to do with our compass. And I'm going to give you 5 ways in which you can both identify, all right, for starters, and the ways in which you can use what you have identified, or use that compass to really direct life storms. So, what is the first thing that I want you to do? Let's see if I can get my scrollers up here. All right, values. Well, what do you mean values? What are you talking about? You have to be able to understand what your values are, know what they are, and let them be your compass. Let them be your guide. Some things that you may want to focus on. For example, you may want to ask yourself, well, what is it that truly matters most to me? Those are your values. Let that be your guide. Maybe it's family, maybe it's integrity, faith, whatever it is. Write them down, prioritize them, remind yourself of what they are. And when life feels chaotic, go back to that list. Go back and remind yourself of those values so that you can hold on to them when the storm really starts to rage. All right. What else? What else is it that you may want to focus on? Purpose really falls in alignment with value, right? Your purpose really does kind of serve as your North Star. That's what I want you to envision your purpose as. And often storms are going to come and they're going to distract you, and we lose sight. We already talked about that. So reflect on this. What makes me feel alive? What is it that makes me feel fulfilled? Your purpose. It doesn't have to be something grand and majorly, awe-striking, but it is something that really identifies who you are, your why, what it is that you're here to do, why you're here to do it. And frequently being able to focus on that really does help you to guide, or really does help to serve as your guide, because it's helping you to keep rooted. It's helping you to stay in place and to realize that I need to do whatever. I need to maneuver this storm so that I can fulfill that purpose that I know I am to fulfill. What else? What about emotional awareness? That's a big one. Emotional awareness, you need to make sure that you practice that on a regular basis in your life. Storms are going to bring fear. They're going to bring anxiety. You're going to feel overwhelmed. Your compass works best when you're honest about your feelings. Embrace them. Yeah, I do feel overwhelmed. Yeah, I do feel like I can't get through this. Admit to them, and then you're able to go ahead and better handle them. It works best when you're honest. Start a practice of perhaps journaling, or for me, praying is a huge piece of me being able to connect with how I feel and get some support in how I feel and maneuvering those feelings. When you acknowledge and process your emotions, you really prevent them from clouding your decisions. That's what I want you to hear here. Be able to process them so that they don't serve as a barrier, so that they don't serve as the fog that is keeping you from getting to where it is that you need to go. What else are we talking about? Support. We always talk about support. You need to make sure that you're supported by your tribe. Your tribe will often be able to take you by the hand and lead you when you can't see your way, when you feel as though everything that has really given you some ways in which to navigate is now kind of pulled from you and you can't figure which way it is that you need to go. Community is crucial. It's a crucial element in helping you to navigate your storm. What else? Well, you want to make sure that you're taking small steps. The compass is just that. A compass is your guide, all right? But it doesn't tell you, for example, how to drive. It doesn't tell you, for example, how to walk. So, what you need to focus on is not being overwhelmed in the process. It doesn't give you a detailed roadmap, but it points the way. So, take those small steps. Instead of worrying about your entire journey, well, worry about where you need to go in the next mile, in the next 4 miles, in the next 5 miles. And don't worry about that cross country trip that you're taking. Now, I'm not saying don't plan for it. Don't plan for the things that may be coming further along in your journey, but don't let them overwhelm you because you're trying to take them all on at the same time, rather than just focusing in on things right where they are and approaching them in a slower manner, in a more precise manner. So even in a storm, a simple step can really make a world of difference when you're talking about trying to come up against winds and waves and snowstorms and ice storms, whatever the storm may look like. Proceeding cautiously and taking things in small increments rather than large increments really makes a difference. So again, what are we talking about when we talk about your compass? Your values, they're your compass. They're going to lead you. They're going to guide you. They're going to provide you with the direction that you need. Being able to tap into your purpose, knowing why it is that you're trying to navigate that storm so that you can get to the other side to continue to fill out what it is that you are supposed to do. All right. Emotional awareness, identifying with those feelings and not letting them cloud your view, not letting them hold you back, and really provide a barrier between what it is that you need to see and the end that you're trying to get to. All right. Support the tribe that we always talk about, that tribe that's going to be able to hold your hand and guide you when you can't see your way and offer you support when you feel like you're not going to be able to follow that compass that you know is there to guide you. And the last thing is, don't try to focus on the entire journey when you really need to be able to focus in on the very steps that you're taking right now. Don't let the journey overwhelm you. Look at the simple trip first, the first leg of the trip, the first state line that you need to cross, instead of the 4 different states that you need to go through to get to your destination. All right. So there is a way for you to navigate your storms. Use those things as your compass, and they will enable you to be the absolute best and to enable you to get to the other side. So next Thursday, we will not be doing Thought for Thursday because it is Thanksgiving. But speaking of Thanksgiving, you know what comes right after that, of course, is Black Friday. I want you to be sure that you stay tuned to social media, because I have a few Black Friday specials that I definitely want you to partake in, to be a part of, to take advantage of. And I'll tell you about one right now. And that one is a discount on the online courses that we have. I will be providing those at 50% off. Yes, you heard me. 50% off. You will have a period of time in which you're able to get in and to take those courses and be able to finish them all, of course, within a 5 to 6 month period. So we've got courses in there on careers. I've got courses in there on identifying purpose, on reinventing. There are 4 or 5 different things in there that are really going to help you to close out this year and help you to also make sure that you are set for next year. So I'm putting in here now, If you are interested in the training that I'm talking about, which is online training, I want you to go ahead and put 50% off training in the notes here. So it's going to, I'm going to have this to remain up. Put 50% off training, and I will send you the code in order for you to get off of that training. Again, 50% off, and we're bundling the deal, all right, so that you are able to get all of the training courses in there. So that's a Black Friday special that I'm telling you about now. Stay tuned. If you want to get to it right now, though, just go ahead and drop in the DM 50% off training, all right, or in the comments. But stay tuned because we'll have more things coming up as well. That's it. Thank you so much, as usual, for listening in to Thought for Thursday. I hope that you will know that your compass is available to you. There is a way in which you can navigate the storm. You can make it through. Go out, be you, confidently, boldly represent who you are by being authentically you. We need authenticity so deeply, so badly in the world. And we need what you bring, that thumbprint that is unique to you and only you. Go out and make a difference, touch something in the world, make it better for you and for those around you. Again, thanks so much for listening in, and we'll talk next time.